Previously on Unranked.
My kid's 2 now, and she gets crumbs and like stuff all over the place. Like it's not as the clean doesn't last as long anymore with a 2-year-old. She fucks everything up within an hour. Fucking clean the kitchen, boom. Fucking wants to make a tort or something. The whole kitchen's fucked.
I know, Brooke. Slater in the live chat says, my wife unironically calls you the Nothing Podcast. Because after Pokemon, you always start with, what have you been up to? And more often than not, Tuna is like, not much.
The Nothing Podcast!
And then he goes on to say, I have to wear headphones if I want to listen to the pod when we're both in the car, which is a scathing review of this podcast. An absolutely scathing review of this podcast. A great tagline for this podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Unranked Podcast, episode 415. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna Marinello and Tom Caswell.
Oh God!
Listen to Unranked. Your wife won't like us.
She'll have nothing to say.
No. I'll tell you straight out. Okay. Straight up. No offense. Okay, but I hate that mustache.
Oh fuck! I didn't even look at. I was looking at you the whole time.
I hate it. Like I want that gone now.
You know what, Chris? I'm gonna be not on the polar opposite of Tuna, but I don't hate it.
I hate it.
I think if you had some stubble going.
Well, I just shaved everything else because the stubble was too thick.
Okay. The Italian hair coming in. I don't hate it.
I hate it.
I think maybe it's a little too. It's going out a little too much. Like maybe shorten it on the sides.
Yeah,
but
I think maybe.
You look like a caricature. I hate it. I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. I think that you should not walk outside with that.
Therese kind of likes it. So
hey, well, there you go.
I did it as a joke,
and she was like, Therese was like, I don't hate this, and I thought I would.
What's really weird is that you've kind of aged yourself in some respects and de-aged yourself in some respects. Yes. Like you look like a younger Brooklyn hipster guy, but you also look like a guy in his 50s that like is that creepy guy down the street.
Is this inspired by you've been watching Masters of the Air? you look you fit right in with a 3.
I haven't seen it yet.
You look like a serial killer. You look like a serial killer.
You better watch your fucking mouth.
Don't listen to him, Chris. The people making fun of the porno stash. Mustaches are in.
No, they're not.
They're super in. They're super
not
in.
And I'll also tell you. I'll say this, Tuna. Chris's facial hair is better than what you've got going on.
Wow. Okay, shots fired. I mean, this is what I always look like. So
but you shaved recently, and I don't think it's flattering for your face to have shaved so close to the skin. All right, I've had a bit of wine, and I'm here defending Chris because I do think that I think this is the prototype. I think we're version 0.
I agree.
But I think with a little bit of
there was an episode of Impractical Jokers where Murr comes out dressed as a character. I think he called Stanley Merkel. I mean, you look like you should be like a 70s. You look like you really do. You look like a serial killer. You look like
then you should be careful.
Yeah.
I think Chris. I actually am. I think Chris pulls it off. I love the fact that Tuna was like. Texted us. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be late. If we can keep it to an hour and a half, that'd be great." And Chris, freshly shaved mustache, was like, "All right, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. We're gonna spend 10 minutes on the stash." No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I did. The reason it looked. Thank you. The reason I look younger is because I actually just like clean shaved my face like right before this. Yeah. So, but I'll say this as a prototype, you're right because I was actually gonna get rid of it. And because I think it'll work better once I lose more weight too. as I get into shape. So I think
I'll tell you this: it's very clear that you've already lost quite a bit, because I do think that you look skinnier. And I don't know if the stash is doing the heavy lifting there, or if I think you have lost some. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I dig it.
Yeah, I mean, from this point, from like a year ago,
God,
I'm down like a little over 30. So, but I still want to lose basically 50.
Totes,
so
or additional
50 more, yeah.
Oh,
so that I can be back to like my old fighting weight.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Which basically means
you do look like a boxer. This is like a boxer's stash from the 7th. That's true. Like
the reactions I got,
Rocky has to fight in the lead up to Apollo.
Well, thank you. The reactions I got from the two of you were almost precisely what I imagined.
and now I also realize that according to Tom, I have to grow my beard more because my face is so fat that I can't.
I just think it's very close. Here's the thing: if I
can't have hair that close to my big jowls,
I didn't say this. I didn't say this.
My big face.
But if I did my beard the same way as you, Tuna, I would be suffering from the same thing. That's why it has to be as thick and dense as it is. It's the beard, as I've learned from many women that I've spoken to over the years, the beard is makeup for men.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It gives a lot of men chins that don't have any. It gives you like, and
it
so
gives
when
me
you're
a
heavier, you are supposed to have
this
it
definition you're seeing
to hide the
it
neckline.
Does not exist. It does not exist at all. And so
it defines a jawline that isn't there for me.
I'll say this, just to defend Alex a little bit.
No, you don't need to. I don't need you to come to my aid.
Well, no. I know
like I'm fat.
The angle of the camera for you being below your neck is not helping your situation.
Correct.
If you were in person looking dead on, it would look much better.
I'm also aware.
Tom would more struggle to insult you so harshly.
No, I'm also aware that when I go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror, I'm always like, man, I look a lot different than I do on the Zooms. But yeah,
that's we're all
what
mates.
are you gonna do? All mates. Yeah. I mean, look, I gotta lose a good 60 at least.
Yeah.
So actually, I think that's impossible. A 60 would bring me down to my wedding weight, and that's never gonna happen again. So fuck that.
I mean,
that's not happening.
I don't know. That's sort of what I want to get to, is back to my old good weight, because I'm realizing, Alex, at our age, if we don't do it now, it may become impossible for us. Without the use of like, one of those medications.
But shit sucked out of you.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, ooh, we're getting old. I kind of want to not have a heart attack in my like 40s or even 30s. So gotta get in shape. Can't fuck around anymore. Oh well. To continue this grim podcast, let's talk about a Pokemon.
Yeah, come on. Oh man,
Pokemon 415.
Or up to 415.
I'll tell you this: if Slater's wife hasn't asked him to put the headphones on already,
So they're talking about something we can't even see.
I know, right? Oh my god! Well, this is an episode to go to the youtube.com/Unranked podcast to see Chris's stash. I really debated, may or may not be good.
I really
let me know. Let us know in the comments.
I don't feel like it's ready, but sometimes you just gotta workshop it. You know what I mean?
I think it's more ready than it's not. What's the pokes?
Today's Pokemon is the evolution of last week, which was I spoke too soon.
I don't think it is.
I spoke too soon. I thought we did this last week. Today's is the new Pokemon, because we finished evolution last week.
Let it be a good one. Let me see.
Combee. We got a bug type. I like this.
Yeah, this is a good one. Oh, okay.
Well, a good.
Yeah.
You gonna start talking, or are you just gonna?
No, I wanted to see where you went with it, but I think it's good in the sense of it's a fun design, but.
Well, look, we have a lot of. Look, we're looking at bugs. There's few bugs that are elite, right? Let's be real about this. We have Beedrill, but Beedrill never felt right because of the whole Weedle, Kakuna. Like it wasn't the way I think I looked at wanting a bee. It almost felt more like a Hornet, kind of a bee. Pokemon. And what I like about here is they did something very different because we're getting a queen bee, and so they're doing the honeycomb and the queen bee. I'm just really happy that they did a totally different thing with it. Unlike we just had the
Wait a
moth.
second. If you are on Bulbapedia, right? The definitive Pokemon.
Definitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go all the way down to the early design of Combee, it has a little like penis.
Hold on. Where am I looking here?
Down by the origin.
Why did you say Combee?
Because I was already thinking. Because I was
That's
already
the back of it, you dumbass.
I was thinking of penises.
That's the back of it.
That's its back. It has a tail.
You can see it on the other direction. You see how the face is missing?
It's a backward penis. That's a peen.
Oh, the early design, yes.
Yeah, that's a peen.
They definitely like made it less of a dick. That is especially
that is a
it
penis.
Doesn't have
you
a stinger.
flip that
It's a
upside
stingless bee.
That looks like a little. It is. It is.
Right.
That is a penis.
Right.
That is a total head of a penis.
You're right.
They definitely
I mean, the Bulbapedia put this early design here for a reason, and it is because penis.
While we're by this honeycomb penis, why don't you tell us about the name origin?
Sure. Combee may be derived from honeycomb combination, referring to it being made up of 3 segments, and bee. I have to say, I think
I'm just thinking about Slater's wife listening to this.
Well, we're exclusively making content for her at this point.
Well, also at this point, headphones are already in, so she's not hearing this part.
Yep.
But I'm thinking about how I usually shit on very uninspired design Pokemon, and for me to say that this is a good looking Pokemon kind of contradicts everything that I've said so far about other Pokemon. So I think I have to not like this Pokemon.
Oh, interesting. Why don't you like this?
I do like it, but I think based on previous opinions,
like what?
Like the bird Pokemon, that I think it just looks like a bird. So with this is this is honeycombs.
I think that was okay.
I don't know.
I don't know why you feel that way, because that's the thing you like about all the original generation Pokemon. Maybe you were just bored by it and you gave a lazy answer once, because that's sort of the reason we like, I thought, the original Pokemon the most, is they're the closest often to actual animal designs.
I know, but I feel like I don't like the Pokemon that are like the garbage bag Pokemon, the one that looks like garbage bag.
Sure.
Or right. So I feel like,
but that's not like this.
No, it's honeycombs.
Yeah, but the garbage bag Pokemon is bad for other reasons.
Yeah, it's also 3 bees in a honeycomb. By the way, one of them's only 1. So it's because the whole thing with bees is you have all the worker bees, right? And so that's what makes Combee interesting, is 87% of them are men. Just like with the beehive, it's actually way more than that. But the majority of these are boy bees, and they cannot evolve into a queen. And there's only the few females that are made can become a queen bee and evolve, which means most Combees you won't be able to evolve, which is, both annoying and interesting from a game mechanic.
Right.
But what you have there are a little hexagon pod, and 2 of them are still in the larval state. That's why they have the little antennae, and they don't have little backs yet. They're still inside the pod, and one is kind of broken free, and he's kind of carrying them with it. So I don't know. I don't think that's the same as garbage, because this isn't the honeycomb is alive. It's the honeycomb is being carried by 1 bee, and there's 2 other ones kind of in it.
Do you think that each comb controls each wing that is attached to it?
No, it's like a hive. Well, I think it's like a hive mind.
Oh, you don't think it's like, hey, you're a little too fast on the left side. Like, can you slow down?
Not based on the animations that I'm seeing in the sprites section.
Well, you don't know if they're talking to each other.
Yeah, because of the antennae, I'm
that's what
a
hive mind is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
what you just described is a hive mind.
No, I'm not talking about hive. No. I'm talking. They're talking.
He wants a verbal hive mind.
He wants it to be like very literal, like very hey, I need you to say, kind of like a Masters of the Air, when they've got to make sure that everyone's doing the thing and everything.
Well, that's why it's named Combee. It's one part of the word is the left and one part of the word is right. It's like come, no, baby, come, baby. That's how it tells it, left and right, left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows what's going on?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, they should do that for a Pokemon too. And it should be like Mayflower, like May Queen.
Ooh. Nah, that'll end up being like the Mayflower ship.
But a B. Okay, yeah, no, solid.
And then the ship evolves into Columbus.
Nice. If he didn't get canceled, that would have been
great. Columbus.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a Pokedex entry for you guys. Okay. You want to hear one?
All right. The Pokedex.
This might shift my feelings.
At night, Combee sleep in a group of about 1,000, packed closely together in a lump. The trio is together from birth. It constantly gathers honey from flowers to please Vespa Queen. So it's a sub.
These Pokedex entries always annoy me because it's always like, it's never consistent and it's never true. It's always like,
what's inconsistent?
From Pokedex to Pokedex entry, from game to game. Isn't it like different every time?
I think that's just a matter of like data. They give you some information in one game and some in the other to. So that was part of the selling point, right? It was like get both games.
No, I'm talking even from generation to generation.
But yeah, but if I go on Wikipedia and I read an article about honeybees, but then I go on like Nat Geo and read an article about honeybees, the text won't be the same.
No, but the information will be. Like the facts.
Generation to generation is a different location. Someone else is writing those Pokedexes.
Yeah, but sometimes they aren't, and sometimes it's off.
What is off?
I'm Googling it.
Wolfslore is in the chat, and he dropped the great line of a Combee evolves into a baby. So you got that one?
I wasn't. Can you repeat it? Because I was reading on Reddit like inconsistencies in Pokedex entries.
A Combee evolves into a baby.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. Good.
Sorry, Wolf. I thought me and Chris thought it was a lot funnier than Tuna did.
Well, I was distracted by trying to find Pokedex fucking inconsistencies about how the speed stats are not always the same.
Mr. fucking wanted to end by 11 p.m. Eastern time. Fucking trying to find inconsistencies in the Pokedex.
Chris is saying there is not any inconsistencies. So I feel like I need to back it up.
I don't know if I said that. I just asked you specifically what the hell you meant because I'm not aware of it. What you're talking about.
I feel like every time there's a different. I mean, we can look at the list of Pokedex entries for different Pokemon.
Well, right, but again, every region is a new Pokedex. Someone else is writing them. They're gonna have different.
I know, but sometimes the facts are wrong.
All right, where are we putting this guy?
Middle of the pack.
Well, what does that mean? Because Shinx is below the middle of the pack.
Oh, then bottom low.
Man, that's Shinx wall.
The Shinx wall, baby.
You're not gonna get above the Shinx wall.
Well, yeah, but it could be in the middle. It could be a standard deviation within the middle of the pack.
Oh, yeah, but it's not gonna
below.
Yeah. No, I don't like it above Shinx. I mean, if you guys want to overrule me,
I don't like it above. I don't like it above any of the dinosaurs. I think I would put it right above below
Rampados. Above.
Yeah, I would put it at 19.
Put it right there.
All right, do it.
Yep, right under the dinosaurs, under Shinx, above Burmy.
Boom. There we go. So yeah, I mean, now Shinx is actually dead center, like middle of the pack.
Yeah,
it is the center wall. Are you? Which side of the Shinx wall are you on?
Which
is the new designation of Pokemon. And that will continue to move. Every other Pokemon, that wall will move over by one. As we continue to add to the list. So Shinx will probably continue to move higher up the list in a way as that list gets longer, at least from a percentage point. All right, this one's just for Slater's wife. Alex, what have you been up to this week?
Nothing. No. So what have I been doing? Well, I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been trying to play Walkabout mini golf, but what happened was my PlayStation VR 2 decided to stop accurately tracking again. And I will explain to you what happens. I will scan the room. Sometimes I won't be able to scan the room when this shit starts happening. But when I scan the room, the play area is set. I am in the game. I'm looking down, ready to put my ball, and then the ground is shifting. So the ground will shift away from me. It will shift to the left, to the right. And it doesn't matter even if I do a standalone, not a standalone, a stationary play area, it will still shift. The cameras, for whatever reason, just stopped working correctly. So we've got a new repair ticket for my PlayStation VR2, which is still under warranty. So I'll be getting a new one. I don't know how many more times this will happen before I like actually try to get on the phone with someone for real. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Trust me, I've done that. You will get nowhere.
I know, but I feel like if you're gonna send me, if I have evidence that you've sent me 2 or 3 of these things,
then they'll just be like, "Well, it's still in warranty. We'll repair it again.
We'll repair it again. Fine, repair. But
this,
you know what's
this
fine.
feels like a bad luck.
Yeah,
this feels like
again.
bad luck. I feel like it's gonna be fine when you get it back.
Well, we'll see.
I hope so. I hope that's the case because we were ramping up our Walkabout play to get ready to play.
Yeah. I felt good too. I felt really good. I was like, oh man, I'm sinking shots. I'm doing pretty well. And all of a sudden this shit started happening. And then that was it. Like the last day we played, I like was just, it was really bad.
This is the thing. Now I'm starting to think this is an excuse because Tom, the last time we played, I was fucking on fire. I was doing great. And Alex started losing. And then he's it's sliding around. It's not working. Oh, I'm trying to hit the ball. It's flickering.
All right. You want to talk about the play time the day before when I
that was
kicked
bad.
your ass 3 days in a row?
Yeah, that was bad. So, I had the worst games in my life, I think, in a while.
Yeah. So that's happening. I would whatever. So PSVR2, go fuck yourself. I wish that this podcast was like any he
wants a free headset.
Yeah, give me a fucking free headset, bitch.
Yeah. Well, you got a free headset.
Assholes. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You did get
You got a free one, remember? I hooked you up.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like I'm out a lot of money. It's one of those things.
Right. It's actually surprising that you are able to actually ship it to Sony because there would be no kind of record of you purchasing it. And
right. I spoke to them on the phone about that. They were cool with it. So that they didn't have a problem with.
Right. That was totally fine. Cool.
Yeah, totally cool. Totally fine. Don't worry about that. Yep. Don't need to talk about that anymore. The other thing that I did, so I started watching no spoilers, but I started watching Masters of Air. Masters of the Air. All I'll say, right, is that it has grown on me and now I love it. I thought the first episode was, I'll just, without any spoilers, the first episode was good. Second episode was a little slow. Third episode, I was like, okay, yeah. And then fourth episode, I was loving it. I'm in. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the story. Obviously, but I just enjoy it. I really like it. And I think you have to set your expectations that it is not Band of Brothers in the air. Like, don't think of it that way, because it's not that. Band of Brothers was definitely a different animal. And because you are, a lot of the setting is in the plane or on the ground in between missions. So this,
how is the aerial stuff? Because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm such a huge fan of Top Gun Maverick. I've watched that movie. I mean, that's the mustaches, obviously. No, but that movie, I've watched that movie, I think, at least like 10 times. I mean, I saw it in the theaters a couple times. It's so good.
It isn't on that level because they're very clearly like not
like bombers. They're not
aerial. Sure.
There's that, but there's also like there's a level of CGI that I don't think Maverick.
But does it feel like they're filming in cockpits?
Oh, they are. They are 100%.
They are filming in cockpits.
They are 100%.
So it doesn't feel okay. Great.
No,
I care about that a lot more than anything.
When
else.
Shit is kicking off, you're feeling it, and they go to a great level to enhance that feeling of like when like the stress that I feel. I'm like, oh my god, I can't, and especially because like you think about like these kids, like they're kids, like they're teenagers, they're in their early 20s, and I'm like, what the fuck? How?
Mm-hmm.
How did they do this?
Mm-hmm.
How did they do this? I really am enjoying it. I'm curious, Tuna, when you say it isn't Band of Brothers, that's a different beast. What do you mean, just in terms of? Because I think
so. There is definitely
it's the
a camaraderie.
equivalent. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. So I think there's definitely a camaraderie between the two main characters, and
They're
that
fantastic.
relationship is great.
Yeah.
But in terms of a Band of Brothers,
oh sure, yes.
aspect, where they're all like a literally, if you take the literal translation of Band of Brothers, it's not that. It is really a story of those two characters, the two main dudes, interspersed with a couple side characters. There's maybe one or two side characters that I would say are even more prevalent than the other lower tier side characters. And then I would also say that a lot of it is you're in the air a lot. So, or you're on the ground in between missions a lot. Whereas Band of Brothers was a lot of action, a lot of different settings, missions that were on the ground. I mean, they're just different missions, just nature of the beast.
Yeah.
But just to your point, or what you asked, Chris, was there's a little 2-minute video about how they filmed some of the air stuff, and they recreated the cockpits as best they could. So it's like in a cockpit. And the way they said they filmed it was they filmed it with the actors in the cockpit, and then they had these big screens or projectors or something around them to try to get it as close to what would be in the show as possible, so they could see the aerial ace or whatever the coming at them, so they could be like, oh my god.
That's how they do a lot of this stuff now. I think they call it the volume. Even outside of Disney, I'm pretty sure they call them volumes. That's how they do like Mandalorian. That's why that looked so like amazing at first when he was like walking around, because he was like able to see where he was going, and it wasn't just like I'm in front of a big green screen pretending I see this like rock in front of me or whatever. He can like see the rock,
Yeah, you make a good point there, Tuna, with like in Band of Brothers, every mission, everything that they would do would be very different. But just again, the nature of the beast, the way that it works is like they're doing a bombing run. So it's they get up in the air, flak starts blowing up. Then once the flak stops, then the fighter jets come in, and like that was just the way. But I would say that the worst, like when they pull out and they show like the planes, like that's when it's like very CG because it's just all computer. In the air. But when they're in the cockpit and stuff, and their reactions and everything, and it's also a very violent show. I don't remember Band of Brothers being this kind of gruesome, but the way that they display like how like there's literally like one moment where someone goes to change a mag in their gun jam, so they go to change a mag and they have to take their gloves off, but because it's so cold, they like get instant frostbite on their hands when they go to touch the metal,
like when you like touch an ice cube and like it sticks to your fingers.
Yeah, but on like exactly the way, like that. Just like that, but like the ice cube is massive, and you're also 10,000 feet in the air, and it's made of metal. Yeah, so there are shots where it cuts to there are shots where it cuts to people. There are shots where it cuts to people, and they've been either shot, the flak has hit them, or and I'm like, fuck, like holy shit, I did not see that coming.
Hell yeah. So, I kind of maybe I'll watch it tonight. I want to put it on the projector. I want to watch this on like the biggest screen I can. I think.
Yeah.
I think that
so
would be cool.
I would say the lulls. Like there's one. I mean,
you laugh a lot?
I don't want to. No. So I get it. LOL. So no, I would say in episode 2, there's a lot of waiting around, which I think that but I think they did that on purpose to show how much waiting around there is. Because there was a lot of waiting. They weren't like they went on a mission. They went on a flight, and then they came back. And once they came back, they were chilling until it was time for the next mission, which they got debriefed on before they went. So there was lull. And you have to remember, this wasn't peak war because D-Day hasn't even happened yet. We're like pre.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about. Okay.
We're pre.
It's literally America first join. Like
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure like if this was on the Pacific or I didn't know where it was.
It's in Europe. It's in Europe, but it is pre D-Day.
Cool.
The lull stuff though, I think the characters are so charismatic, and
well, yeah. I would just say, in terms of, if you're looking for that band of brothers, it's not. I'm just setting expectations. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying that there is a lull that you're kind of like, oh, we're not really doing
Band of Brothers,
right,
if I remember, like they're like stuck in the shit for most of it.
For most of the goddamn show.
Well, except for when Ross is there.
One of my that episode. One of my favorite I think my favorite shot scenes is though when that bike race they have in episode
I knew you were gonna
2.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Dude, it's so good.
It is good. It is. Yeah. I will say that the two main characters, I don't want to say they carry that show, but they are a huge draw for that show. Like, and they are excellent.
So Austin Butler is one of them, but I would say the main character is the other guy who's acting.
I think
Buck and Bucky, right? Oh, yeah. I completely agree.
I think he's better. He's better.
Yeah, and I like him. He has.
He's
they're both interesting. It's a good show. Definitely
great show.
Must definitely watch that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of World War II, I watched The Wolverine yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, so last Friday, we played some games again. We played some Demeo. We played.
Got our ass kicked again.
Yeah, but we got up to the boss this time. We got up to the boss this time. That boss was.
Listen, I'm gonna write into Mr. Demeo and tell them that boss was bullshit. It was too hard.
Okay, so
too hard.
I thought about it. Right.
Talk to us.
There's one thing they can do to fix the problem, and it's
just take away one boss, so we don't have two.
No, but also let one of us control two characters is the problem.
Oh, okay.
Because that boss is clearly like, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? If there were 4 of us, we could technically put 8 hits on it every round. And even though it's randomly regenerating this bullshit shield that could basically blank out 3 of your hits, if there were 4 of us, we'd still guarantee 5 hits on it every time we wanted to damage it. And that would be a lot easier to actually take down this boss. So and with 3 of us, that means half our hits are gone. That's it. Like, boom.
So let's just set the scene. So we are in the final level of Demeo of this one chapter, book, whatever. We're in the last chapter of this book. We get into the scenario. Not only are there a bunch of enemies that are pretty strong, there's 2 bosses, and you have to defeat both. One is kind of your standard boss. It has a life points, and you just have to get those down. The
Who
other
we were
boss,
hoping, by the way, was controlling the shield and was not.
Right, and it was not. So then, with the other boss, has a 3-hit shield that the hit points would not drain unless you took out this 3-hit point shield. And even if you got a critical hit, it would still only count as 1 hit. Even if you did critical damage, it would only count as 1 hit. So you had to get 3 hits on the second boss before you could actually do heart-stealing damage. 2 problems. Number 1 was that he reset that shield every round, which was bullshit. And
randomly, sometimes it didn't at all. Sometimes it was 1 point, sometimes 2 points, but too often it was all 3 points.
All 3. And then part 2 was that he had an ability, or either his buddy had the ability, to heal him. So it was even if you got his health down, he just healed right back up. Right. And he attacked like twice per round. It was insane.
And his attack was like the area of effect attack, because he brought up these vines.
Yeah. Oh, so he was killing all 3 of us at the same time.
Yeah, and it would and the vines would like propel us across the map, so you'd have to waste time getting back.
And then the other problem is that
it was unbalanced.
We had totally unbalanced. The other problem was that I had abilities, or some of us had abilities where we could heal each other, but you had to be close to each other to do it. So if I get close to you, but then if the boss comes over to us, we're fucked. So it was agonizingly annoying, especially when you put so much time into it, especially when we beat one of the bosses. And then the other problem I have is that the minions keep spawning. Even if you kill all the minions in the area, they keep coming. It's just like, what the fuck?
There's 2 ways they could solve this for us. One, which I already said. The alternative, give us a checkpoint. Let us just restart that at that point. If we fail, don't make us start the whole thing over, because there's like a weird difficulty curve where we were fucking crushing it until we got to the boss, and then it's like You know, it's like that Shinx wall. Like you weren't getting through.
Oh yeah, we were not. This latest time we were playing, we were not fucking around. Like we were communicating. We were making sure that every move.
Alex was playing a support role.
Never happens,
and he enjoys it. Which
never happens.
Is a plus in for Demeo, I guess. But yeah, there was like no. It really just was. We couldn't do any damage because the way that the numbers worked out. And it was a little bit of luck as well, because obviously he's rolling dice, right? And we just were very unlucky that every time he rolled for a couple of turns, he was getting his full shield back. So
I just don't think that. I mean, like I would love to have seen 3 professional Demeo players play that and see what they would have done. Because I don't think we did anything. Like I really don't think we wasted any cards or wasted any time moving. Like I really thought we took an aggressive approach. While also being cautious at the same. I mean, fuck this game. That's it.
I look forward to the next time we play.
Yeah, well, I gotta get my PSVR in my fucking headset. I gotta send it back to this goddamn company for a new one.
Right.
That's what happens basically, because the thing you can track it. The thing comes in, it gets sent out within a day. I'm like, they didn't do shit. They just get a new one.
Yeah.
You didn't fix anything.
Yep.
Ooh, wait, where are you sending yours to this time?
I haven't gotten the shipping. I'll let you know when I get the shipping.
Mine went to Texas last time.
Mine, I think,
yours didn't.
I thought it went to Iowa. I'll check.
But maybe I think there might be 2 different facilities, so I would be closer sending it to Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
I know mine came from, the new one came from Texas.
Oh, did it really? That's funny.
It did. That I know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It only took like a week. Wasn't that bad.
Speaking of VR.
Yeah.
Been playing a lot of VR last night and today.
Okay.
So there's Tom, have you used big screen on the Quest? I really, there's part of me that makes me think I should have really just pushed Alex further to just wait to get the Quest 3 instead of getting the PSVR 2, just because.
Well, you didn't know. No one knew.
Well, I did. No, I told him at the time. I said it's probably going to come out in this fall, and you could wait. And he goes, "No, I don't want to wait. I want to play it
now." Big screen is
big picture. It's basically like a movie viewing app or like a content delivery app. So it puts you into like a theater, like Alex, imagine the old Netflix theater, and you can watch stuff with your friends. And you can load up like different streaming services.
I don't know about sharing, but when I had the Quest 1, there was the viewing room that was like made the screen as big as a fucking IMAX.
But no, this is like a dedicated app. You look like you're in a theater. Have you done that?
No.
So and then you can watch. So like Tom, we could load up a thing and watch it together, right? Like that kind of a thing. You can, if you use side quests, and if you want to load things, you can load APKs. That's how I loaded the Xbox, not the cloud gaming, but the Xbox Remote Play. So I put the Android Xbox Remote Play on the Quest. You can also do that with the PlayStation Remote Play. So I put the PlayStation Remote Play on the Quest last night.
You were playing PSVR 2 games.
And no, that would be amazing though. No, that would be unreal. And I plugged in my PS5 to Ethernet, and I've been playing Helldivers 2. I played Helldivers 2 last night. I played Helldivers 2 today, and let me tell you, Helldivers 2 is a very, very cool game, Tom.
Wait, why didn't you invite him to play with you last night?
Well, because I played like in the middle of the night.
For this bit.
No, because I played at like 11 o'clock last night. So it was like 2 a.m. for you.
Very good. So.
And then I played during your workday today.
Let me hear your thoughts.
Okay, so my initial thought was, have I made a mistake and just wasted $40? Because just like the clunkiness of like learning a new game that I haven't played and like, getting the controls down, and they're different than what I thought they might be, like for certain actions. The first game I played was really frustrating. After that, it was smooth sailing. But the whole first game, I just, I kept making stupid mistakes throughout, where it's like, you're like in the shit. If you want to talk about Band of Brothers, you're in the shit in this game the whole time.
Yeah.
Like there's almost like a horror aspect to it. Like it really does have that, like you're in like a sci-fi film franchise, like war. Like it really feels, they do a really good job with that. God, honestly, Alex, in some ways, I'm like, these guys should make the next Halo campaign. You know what? Give me a third person fucking Halo, because that's kind of what this feels like in a cool way. And it's really, really fucking cool.
If you could mod this for Halo, it would be oh my god.
It would be so cool, dude. It would be so maybe that's what they need to like. They need to like look at some franchises and be like, let's fucking shake things up. Let's see what we can do here. Give it to someone else. Let someone do something weird with it. But maybe not, because I still want first person Halo, of course. But it's cool. It's really cool. But so in the first match I played, I couldn't remember what button brings the map up, because I just forget about the touchpad. I haven't used the PlayStation controller in a couple months, because I've just been playing, PSVR since Spider-Man 2. I haven't played anything else on my PS5 unless it's been PSVR. And the guy I was playing with, it was just me and one dude. I was like in front of him trying to figure out how to pull the map up, and I hit the right stick in, which meleeed him and then knocked him down. And he got really mad and shot me, and then he refused to reinforce and bring me back into the game for like several minutes, until he was like, fuck, I can't do this alone anymore. And I was just like watching the game, because the guy thought I like tried to kill him. But I was just like, I couldn't figure out how to bring the map up, and whoops, accidentally almost killed my teammate. But yeah, it's great. I'm sure you probably have more to say, because you've played more of it. I'm only level 4, I'm not very far into that game.
I've been playing sparingly, simply just because the matchmaking is kind of broken right now, and as you mentioned, it kind of requires, you're in the shit. Like, the more people you have, the easier. Like, it's a very cooperative game. It requires you to be cooperating with other people, for you to have different loadouts to complement each other, all that. And matchmaking is just unfortunately very broken, simply because it's become very popular. This is the most popular game.
Wait, what's broken with it?
Well, maybe you haven't had this issue, but I
played 3 or 4 matches. But that's it. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're not running into this issue, but it is all kind of a widespread thing. But like, basically, it either won't matchmake me with people, it will, but I have crashes. I am playing on PC, so it's obviously a different beast. I had to turn crossplay off, because apparently that like helps it a little bit. But
there goes us playing together.
I crash into, well, I might turn it. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so just having a full group, or as close to a full group as possible. And then the other thing is like, each of the operations is made of multiple missions. So the idea is like, it's a cluster of things, and there's like one 10-minute mission, there's like two 40-minute missions or whatever.
Yeah, so the one I played one that was long.
Yeah, and it's a kind of build your own thing, because there's one main objective that you have to beat to evac out, but basically there's a list of things that you can do, and that increases your score, which increases the amount of credits you get and stuff like that. And yeah, and sometimes it's not even the matchmaking failing in. When we get out and it's trying to disconnect all of us, I'll get a crash as well. So it's difficult. It's a difficult game, especially as you get up in the difficulty. It's easy if you go on the lowest difficulty to play by yourself or with 2 people. But once you get into like the middle of the pack, there's 9 difficulties total. Once you get into the middle of the pack, you need 4 people, and you need to be coordinating and complementing each other.
But I gotta say, even the easier stuff is still gonna be fun though, because it feels like such a cool arcadey experience.
Yeah, I've been like kind of grinding some of the easier missions, simply because like I don't have to worry about the matchmaking process at that point. So here's the deal. I'll rattle these up quickly. I think, aside from all the matchmaking issues, this is the best live service game to ever be made, for 2 reasons. The first is all of the stuff that you need to pay with real currency actually priced very well. A skin is not $5, $10. It's like $2 for a skin. You can also find,
aren't they like 20 in Fortnite?
It depends on the skin. So a new skin that is a new cat, like an IP.
Can I be
character,
Goku?
Yes. Goku with all the trimmings might be $20. Yeah, so the skins and stuff, like I think it's priced very well. Secondly, you can find premium currency in a match. So if you're running around, you can find caches that have the premium currency. You can acquire the premium currency without having to buy anything. So you can get all of the you can essentially get a battle pass by just playing the game, like the premium battle pass.
Yeah.
Secondly,
which then makes basically you're paying for stuff because you don't have enough time to acquire it, you know?
Yeah, it's not simple.
Which is fine. Like if you can't play the game a lot and you want to have the skin, then spend the $2, like whatever.
Exactly. And then on top of that, it isn't just skins. There are like weapons on that premium battle pass that you can't get otherwise. Now, the thing is, you can get premium currency by playing, not just by buying. And secondly, the weapons aren't necessarily like this is a weapon that is going to win you the game. They're just different types of weapons, and like you're experimenting with loadouts is a huge part of the game. And so there's actually stuff on the battle pass that you want that isn't just like, well, we can only do skins because that's the only way to make it fair. They figured out a way to like have it so it's like there is equipment, there are things that change up the gameplay that are on the battle pass, but it isn't going to get you an advantage that you would get just by paying.
Yeah.
And then
here's a question. I haven't seen it yet, but the one thing I think this game could use that I don't think it has, and this is why I've been thinking about like, oh, I wish we had Halo like this. There's no vehicles, right? Or are there?
I don't think there are.
That man, Tom, imagine if we could get like on a fucking like Warthog, like have one guy in a Gatling, like that would work really, really well in this game. But maybe that'll happen one day. Who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that the other thing that I like about it as a live service and why I think that it is the best live service game yet is that it you know, even in something like Destiny, where it's meant to be like you're these guardians and you're all a part of this like the guardians of the earth or whatever, you're still segmented off into the trio of guardians or the 6 of guardians that you're playing. And even when you're in the base, you know, the tower, the 20 guardians around you. This incorporates every player in the game at all times because you're working towards the galactic war. So the planets and stuff that you're checking out, they're slowly increasing in the percentage of how much they've been freed from there's bugs, and then there's like automatons, which are like terminators. And so it incorporates every player. And like the update today that dropped is like the automatons have surged and pushed the front on this side. These planets have been invaded. We need people to move away from this sector of the galaxy over to this sector. And so it really incorporates the entirety of everyone that is playing this game at one time, even though you are just jumping into a game with, you know, 3 other players. Yeah, it's cool. It's active, the way that you call in the stratagems, which are the, you know, the orbital strikes, you diving into the hell.
I'm 50-50 on those. I'm 50-50 on the fight codes.
Oh, you know, sure, yeah.
Because I think all it actually does is make it feel a little clunky when you're getting started, and then once you know what they are, they just delay what you're trying to do by half a second, which could be accomplished by holding the button in for, you know, half a second. Like, so I don't think it's actually that feels a little bit more superficial than it is. Just like the way you input it. Yeah, when you want to call in like a reinforcement, Alex, so let's say Tom dies, you want to bring Tom back into the battlefield, call in a reinforcement, and he'll drop in like an ODST drop trooper, because that's how it works, where we're all up in like our own ships up in, you know, space, and we drop down into the battlefield. Or if you ever played, do you remember Section 8 on the 360? We played that like twice. We thought it was going to be like Halo,
the next thing.
Yeah, it was boy, that was not, but it seemed cool. But to do it, you press, was it L2? You hold L2, or is it L1? Hold
it's
L1
or
L2.
Yeah.
L1, and then you input a code, and each stratagem is a different code. So it's like left, right, left, up, up, down, and then you can call it, which is like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I just think that it's meant. This game has a specific design ethos that is like everything has a you're never just doing something like it's in a menu. Like anything that you do, even in the ship to get in the hell pod, like you have to walk over to the hell pod and get in it. When you decide to move to a different planet, because when you decide to move to a different planet, like the ship is actually moving. I think it's meant to add a bit of activity, and then on top of that, it's adding to the pressure. Because
that's what I think it really does. Is like when you're in a fight, you need to call in something. You can't just press a button. You have to, which it's like, oh, I can't put this fucking code in because I'm getting smacked around.
Because I do think that Tuna, there's a lot about this game that Tuna would like. I
wasn't going to get it
moment
for sure. I wasn't going to get it till Alex was like, yesterday was like, all right, well, I have to send this in. And I was like, well, we're not going to be playing mini golf now, so I'm going to check it out.
But I think the moment that he gets struck by friendly fire from like a turret that is like auto aiming and he walks into a bullet, I think he's going to be like, fuck this game, this piece of shit game. Because there's a lot of that, like especially like the mines. Like when someone puts a minefield down, I'm getting exploded left and right, and I drop in.
I kind of like that jankiness of it. I got myself killed because I was like running from some shit, and my guy was just mowing people down. And I didn't think about it, and I just went right into a line of fire. He just fucking wasted me by accident.
I like it too.
The ammo switching is cool. The ammo switching is. It sounded like it would just be annoying, and it was frustrating at first because I do have the same habit that everyone has of I'll take a shot and I'll just hit reload if I'm not still shooting. I'll just reload that clip, and you cannot do that in this game. You absolutely cannot waste your ammo in that way.
Why is this game only $40?
Because it's not a big
intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not a AAA like studio necessarily. They made this Helldivers 1 was a top-down like stick shooter.
Isometric,
so this one is actually third person. Colin, I think the sound is really good. I think that's part of what makes me think of like Halo and Bungie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the sound design. It makes the shots feel so kinetic because of like all the sound design they put into, the impacts on the enemies and like the animations when they get hit. So it's very cool. I'm excited to be able to play with you because I've only played with random people so far.
I would like to play in a tight trio for sure. I'll turn crossplay on and we'll see how we do. But
yeah, I mean, it might be fine if we're not matchmaking, if we're just doing.
My problem might actually be solved if I am inviting people.
And we could even do duos on like an easy level too. Would be fine.
Oh, I'm just like. Chopped liver. Okay.
Well, I tried to.
I was talking about you and me, Alex.
Yeah.
If Tom's thing doesn't work, but
instead of tea time because of
in case Tom's time doesn't work.
Instead of hell time.
I can't imagine they won't fix that. Yeah, hell time.
Oh no, they'll have to. I mean, it's blown up. Tuna. It has become the most played game on PC for PlayStation, more than God of War 2018.
What? You mean at one time?
Yes.
Okay.
God of War was the first PlayStation game to hit over 1,000 concurrents on Steam, and this hit over 200,000 concurrents. So its problems are all just because it's become very popular. It's a really good game, and if you could mod it with Halo stuff, like if you made a Halo game that was like this, it would just be so fucking cool.
Let me go plug in my controller to charge it.
Helldiver.
I like how because he has the virtual blurring on. It kept him in focus for a while. And like he was just like walking into like a void, and then he just disappears into the void in the background.
There he is.
It looked like Bigfoot for a second. It was like the Bigfoot photo, like from far away, because it was just like a shroud like moving in the background as you walk.
I love it.
All right, well, it's a cool game. I'll charge the controller. Yeah, all right.
It's a cool game. Also, I don't hate, and I do now enjoy playing games on my PlayStation 2 because I have that controller now. I can play games.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, my PS5.
I'll just play these playing on PS2.
I have PSVR 2 on the mind. And
yeah. We know how it happened. We're not idiots.
Or are we?
So I have watched, just as an update, because we were playing Demeo last week, and I put on X-Men 2000, and I think I watched X-Men 2000 and X-Men 2 while we were playing.
Can we just say that this is how this discussion started, with you saying, speaking of World War II, I watched. Yeah. Is that water? What are you drinking there?
Spindrift.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looks a little blue, it looks a little frosty, like Gatorade Frost.
Oh no, that's the reflection from the light. Spindrift is like, I can have that outside of my meal hours, and they said it's like kind of fine if I have my retainer, like my Invisalign on, if I have my teeth in while I'm drinking it. Yeah, so long as I just like rinse them out shortly after.
All right, so you wanted to talk about your X-Men?
Well, so I watched X-Men 2000, X-Men 2, X-Men: The Last Stand, and then I went to First Class. I watched Days of Future Past, and then I watched. And here's the thing: I realized I never saw either Dark Phoenix or Apocalypse incomplete. I only saw like bits of them, because those were two movies that I remember hearing were so poor. And this was the point. By the time those came out, the MCU was in like full force. It was like it was on a huge upswing too. Like we were only starting to like talk about like what the Infinity War might be. You know, we weren't in like, I think we're at like the end of phase 2, so it was like peak MCU kind of starting.
Apocalypse came out 2016, which would have been the same year as
so that's peak
Civil War, which was
peak phase
beginning
3.
Of phase 3. Yeah.
So I remember just kind of not seeing those, and I got to tell you, I do really like the kind of like interconnected storytelling they do, and you know, the X-Men movies did a lot of the groundwork for that for the MCU, but they get so much more wrong than the kind of nitpicky complaints that people make about like modern Marvel discrepancies. You know, they have just a lot more changes between these movies that are supposedly all kind of interconnected. But it was fun. I mean, even the ones that were bad, Tom, there were parts of them that were still enjoyable because of the casting. Because I'm just
Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix? Phoenix.
Both totally trash movies, right? Except I've got, you know, great actors in it who I'm like, cool. I really like watching this version of Professor X and Magneto. I think everything they're saying and doing is really stupid, but I like watching these characters on screen because the casting is so good. And it's the same thing with the Wolverine, and with X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think is Dark Phoenix. I think Dark Phoenix is the worst one.
It's the worst.
And then Apocalypse, maybe actually. Maybe
with Wolverine
Oscar Isaac
Origins.
has Apocalypse is like just man. Boy, what a bad character. Yeah, those are definitely the worst two, followed by X-Men Origins Wolverine. Like undisputed, those are the bottom 3 of the group. Then probably Last Stand after that.
Yeah.
Which tells you Last Stand's come a long way.
Yeah, the Wolverine. Okay, tell me about the Wolverine.
Well, so the Wolverine is the last one I watched. I only have 3 left. Because Deadpool 3 is coming out, so I was like, here we go. Get a refresh.
You also squeezed in a Fantastic Four viewing as well.
Oh, I did,
and not the 2005 one, which in comparison is an Oscar-worthy greatest movie of all time, compared to Fantastic, the 2015 remake, which maybe you'll agree with me, Christian. Good up until they get their powers. And then maybe the worst movie ever made for the second half.
Okay, so I don't know if I would say it's good for a Fantastic Four movie, but it was like, as a movie, it felt like it was fine.
It was fine up until they get the power.
And again, because like Miles Teller like seems like he's enjoyable on screen. Like, you know, there are people in that, like, I like Michael B. Jordan. Like Alex, the guy that plays Miles in the latest season of For All Mankind, he plays Doctor Doom in that movie. So there are a lot of actors that I like in there again. So there were enjoyable bits, but man, that is worse than all of those X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Wow. There are so many weird decisions in that movie, partially making them like Fantastic Four children for some reason. But yeah, that was, you know why I did it? Because I think I did it before I watched Days of Future Past, because that one for some reason wasn't on Disney Plus. And so I had to go find it. For some reason, Days of Future Past is in HBO. And when I went to find it, I saw that Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, it's in the HBO app. So the Max app, whatever.
Max app.
Yeah. So I went to the fucking Max app, and there was also Fantastic Four, and I'm like, well, while I'm watching shit movies,
oh god, that movie,
let's
that
see
movie
this
is.
fucking...
I'd rather watch Dark Phoenix, which is a really bad movie.
It's really, really bad. But now I have two, I think, pretty good movies to watch left. I have Logan, which was probably the best Marvel like X-Men movie. It's probably the best X-Men movie.
I think that is on a level that exceeds almost any other superhero film.
Wow. I would probably put quite a few Marvel movies, MCU movies ahead of it, but
sure. In terms of enjoyment,
we all love Stephen Merchant. Yeah. I get it.
Yes, we're all mates.
But yeah, there's and I have Deadpool 1, which I like, and then Deadpool 2, which I don't. But I'm just gonna watch it anyway because the new one's coming out. I'm excited.
Why not?
It's the most. I'm excited for this movie more than I have been for a Marvel movie in a while. So, which seems like everyone is, because it is the most like watched MCU trailer that they've had. So
I think it's the most watched trailer.
Or trailer, period.
That thing that you sent us was them saying this is the most watched trailer. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
like
wild.
American, that was weird. Yeah, that Deadpool trailer. That Deadpool trailer is a ton of fun. That movie's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Dude, Marvel right now, like, just when you thought I was out, excited. They pulled me back in. The Fantastic Four casting. Did you guys watch the X-Men 97 trailer?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah, it was on. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, dude. Let's
go. Solid. Yeah.
I was thinking about this because X-Men's gonna come, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna close up all the old X-Men stuff, and we'll get like more cameos of X-Men when they do like the Secret Wars, and that will ultimately be like the reboot to the MCU, and that's probably when we'll get new X-Men casting and everything after all of that, which I think everyone is just kind of like, let's just do that. Let's just get the refresh on the MCU.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of want that. Like, let's just close off all these stories, restart. Yeah.
Perfect.
Who we casting and who do we want? Because I will say there are things there's some castings in Days of Future Past that I'm like, oh, these are better characters. I like some of these characters they have that we didn't get in the original X-Men, 3 X-Men movies we got like in the second go. But then there's some in that first one, like, I mean, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is inspired, especially considering like Wolverine's supposed to be short. He's a short guy.
Yeah, he owned that role despite it being very not who that character is. Yeah, exactly.
So who do you guys want to see? Like which X-Men do you want to see in the Marvel movie is a question I have.
I would love,
fan casting.
Yeah, I would love for them to do the original X-Men, the original 5. So the original 5 X-Men are Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman. Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman. There's a 5th one there. It's not
Professor X.
Oh my god. Angel is the 5th.
Oh. Okay. Oh man, I think he's like my least favorite X-Man.
Sure, from the movies for sure. I just think that there's
just conceptually like, oh, I got angel wings.
Yeah, I have such a reverence for that 4-5, and I think that I think that once you get, even though that the 90s run of X-Men and that 90s cartoon made characters like Storm and Wolverine and Bluehead Beast, right? Because Beast was just like a big boy right? Like the original Beast is just like a big burly man.
Yeah.
I just think that we can build up to that, right? We can build up to, we can keep it more focused. In terms of fan casting, honestly, everyone that gets fan cast, I'm just like, I'm having a hard time seeing like Taron Egerton or Tom Hardy as Wolverine or whatever it may be. I think you go with unknowns. Sure. I think you go with. I
like the Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. I like that. If you're gonna go with short guy Wolverine,
sure. Is he short in real life?
Short. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's not. I don't know if he's short, but he's not. A big guy.
He's short.
But
I would
he's
think
not.
he's like what,
he'd
5'7"?
he'd have to kind of bulk up, though. I feel like.
What would you? What would you?
He is.
What would you say? What would you say?
But
is
he's not like.
Sure. Yeah.
What would you say is short? When you say short, what is short?
5'4".
Oh, all right.
This is really funny because there was that.
He's 5'5".
Oh, okay. So he is. He's close. I mean, when I say short, I mean like so you have like your average height, and then you have like a standard deviation away, which is probably below average, and then beyond that, I'd be like, okay, that's short. Beyond.
I mean, look at his
Wolverine's
IMDb.
meant to be like 5'2" or something. Let me see.
Danny Rads. Look at his IMDb pick. That's Wolverine right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I think he would he's also Daniel Radcliffe can be like. He's got like some rage in him. He's very good at selling rage.
Look at his IMDb pick. What are you talking about? 5'3"
is Wolverine's height.
Okay.
I'm looking at it, Tuna. I think that's good.
More. That's right on there. That's Wolverine right there. That's your Wolverine right there.
So you're going with Daniel Radcliffe.
I like it. I think it's great.
All right.
I had one other that I feel really good about. I used to have one that I can't use anymore, which was there was another fan casting I used to really want, but doesn't work anymore because that actor passed away.
Are you like not allowed to say it, or?
Oh, it was Lance Reddick for Professor X. I thought would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought he would be incredible as Professor X. He has such an incredible delivery of lines that, and you need someone like who is really just captivating with everything he says to be Professor X.
All right, hold on. So I just Googled like bald actors.
Yeah.
Right. Stanley Tucci for Professor X.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna say, so fun. Yo, they need to get him in Secret Wars. Get him as
Jason Alexander.
Get him.
Jason Alexander.
Get all of them. Oh my God, they do. Okay, here we go.
J.K. Simmons.
They do like a psionic blast or whatever, like a telekinetic blast, and it's just like all the multiversal ones. It's fucking Jason Alexander. It's
I like
body.
Yeah.
Larry David.
Ben Kingsley.
Go ahead.
Common. Get Common in there. Common just plays the same character, everything he does. Michael Chiklis
actually have to be bald. Can't they just shave their head?
No, it's got to be bald. You got to go with a bald guy. You got to go with a natural bald. You can't be shaving heads. You can't be shaving heads. I like Ed Harris. I would do Ed Harris.
Ed Harris a little old though. I think you want someone younger.
All right, The Rock.
The Rock as
Professor. That would be.
Get it done. Jason
this
Statham.
Professor X doesn't skip leg day.
Yeah, no, Jason Statham's even better.
Jason Statham. Get everyone from the Fast and Furious movies.
Hey, Vin Diesel. Yeah. Get Vin Diesel.
Vinny D. Michael Jordan. Fuck it. Get him in there. Get him in there.
Oh, Michael Cerveris.
That's not bad.
Michael played Michael Chiklis.
What about John Cryer has shaved his head?
Terry O'Quinn, John Locke from Lost.
Okay. All right. John Malkovich. Old.
Yeah, too old. One of my favorite X-Men who basically hasn't been given a good shot in the movies. He's only appeared in one, and it is oh boy, it's so bad. Guys, it's so bad. It's Gambit. Gambit is so bad in X-Men's Origins Wolverine. Yeah. And then I thought about like who actually could play him, because Gambit's kind of like he's got a lot of riz, right? Gambit's got a lot of riz.
Oh my God.
So I was trying to think about it. And you know what, Tom? I think there's the perfect Gambit out there right now. And it's Taz Skylar, the guy that plays Sanji in a live action One Piece, because he's also he can do that accent. He can nail the accent. Oh my God, he would be perfect as Gambit. He'd be good. There was a time where there were talks about doing a Gambit movie. Before Channing Tatum, it was supposed to be Josh Holloway from Lost, and that would have been also the guy that plays Sawyer from Lost would have been a perfect Gambit.
Or they'll cast Jared Leto.
What do you mean, Tom? He's got the accent down. He's got the look. He's got the riz.
He's got the accent down. Is he Cajun?
He's got the riz.
It's just stop saying Riz. I need you to stop.
No way. Enough with the
Riz. No way.
Enough with the Riz. Just it'll be Jared Leto is what I'm thinking.
Old man Gambit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, there's I think by the time we get to MCU X-Men, there will be another generation of actors that we would consider. Like, I just don't think that.
What are you talking about?
Some of them,
that's not a real thing anymore.
Yeah,
generation of actors. That's not a real thing. People are around for a long time now.
Yeah, but also, like, Tom, that's not.
I'm just saying there will have other actors that have come around.
We're talking about 5 years from now, 7 at most.
Right, but I'm thinking that like Daniel Radcliffe is not going to in 5 years be starting up a career as Wolverine.
Why not?
Are you sure? He might be retiring into a career as Wolverine.
Yeah.
A career that's going to pay him as much as he made during fucking Harry Potter, except he's going to have to do even less work and less movies.
Well, that's what that show that he was on got canceled. So, you know.
Oh, I didn't know he was in a show.
Yeah, he was on some show with Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi's.
Oh. Did you guys see the Weird Al movie? The Weird Al movie was great.
Didn't get around to it. I don't have Roku Plus or whatever it's called.
No, it was free. You just had to sign up for it and you can watch it. It's free. It's fucking hilarious. It's really, really, really. You should definitely watch it.
All right.
You got anything else for the news?
No, hit the news. Hit the news.
Steve Buscemi.
The Boosh as Wolverine.
The Booshes.
We should do the news and then close this out, Tommy. Bring us home.
I think we should. So the big news was that there was no news. Xbox had its business update. Basically just kind of, they're basically saying that they're exploring games on other platforms. They say 4 games are going to be coming to other platforms. 2 are going to be kind of live service multiplayer games. 2 are going to be not that. They wouldn't say in the video that they put out. I think it's probably because we're going to get a direct soon that's going to announce that some of these games
seems like they were leaked though.
Yeah, so the 4 games that are seemingly being selected is Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, which both of those games make total sense, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves, which are the 2 multiplayer games, which again also makes sense. They basically were saying the 4 games that we've picked, we think have kind of done as much as they can on Xbox and would be best served by expanding to other audiences. So that was kind of the top level. They confirmed that at this point in time, there are no plans to bring Starfield or Indiana Jones to other consoles. We will see how this plays out. I think that those will be on the table if they have success.
What about Halo? Please, I want them to bring Halo.
I mean, they didn't mention Halo at all at any point, but I think that eventually, I think they're playing it very safe right now because everyone's up in arms and all this shit.
They're not getting out of the console market. They just spent like fucking $60 billion or more to get a games company.
Yeah, and so speaking of the Activision Blizzard purchase, the next thing they talked about is that they're going to start rolling out. The unfortunate thing is that this video was very much put together at the last minute because they weren't planning to announce any of this at this point.
Right, because this was all like from leaks and conjecture and other shit. Yeah.
So it's very unclear as to the wording, but they're going to start putting Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, and Diablo 4 will be the first one.
Upcoming Gameclub game.
I mean, look, me and Brooke with our neighbors, we're playing. So fun thing the other day. We've been playing Diablo 4 the latest season. I just bring my Series S up to their apartment and we plug it into like a small monitor. And we all play in the same room. They've been playing on a PS4, and that's when I texted you guys, and I was like, "Man, I can't believe how slow this thing
the load
loads.
times.
Like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like, it's so slow." So the other day we go up there, and we're playing, and we jump into a dungeon or whatever, and they load in pretty quickly. And I'm like, huh, their game must have got a really nice patch. They're loading really quickly. And then one of them goes, "Hey Tom, what do you think of our controllers?" And I look over, and they're holding DualSense controllers.
Nice.
And because one of them was so hell bent on not buying a PS5, was like, "No, we shouldn't buy a PS5. We can't buy a PS5 right now." I really just thought like, "Oh wow, the PS4 supports DualSense. You can use the DualSense." And I was like, "Oh fuck, you got a PS5." So they have a PS5 now. Yes. Anyway, Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass March 28th.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to play with you guys on that one as well because we enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm ready to play it. I played Diablo 3 with Alex back in the day when it came out.
Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games ever.
I want to play it on Game Pass. That's why I was like, I'm just gonna wait.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I'm curious. They'll have an expansion at some point of this year for it as well. And then the other two things are they're committed to hardware. They said that the next Xbox will be the biggest technical leap from generation to generation that they've ever done. So we'll see what that.
You know what I think that is?
Go ahead.
You want to guess what my guess is?
Handheld?
No, OpenAI. Microsoft spent a fuck ton of money to buy OpenAI. They're probably working with OpenAI. They might work with like whoever's going to make the hardware. Let's say it's AMD, right? And maybe they're using some form of OpenAI because Microsoft loves to, like jerk off with their own technology. The Xbox One was, the cloud. Your games are going to run on,
right?
There's I see no way in which they're not going to have some kind of, machine learning built into this thing. And that is what my guess is. They're going to have some kind of proprietary like machine learning to make your games run better. And they'll probably have dedicated hardware that goes to it and it'll make it unique to Xbox.
And they'll do the thing that they said that they were going to do at the launch of the Xbox One, which was like the cloud is going to help. So it will like offset some of the computing power. And then everyone got up in arms and they'll bring that back around. No, I agree. I think that they will have we'll see. But they did say that there would be new hardware announcements this fall, which makes you think it'll be like a mid-gen refresh. Obviously, the leaks from the court case pointed toward them already having plans for it was a diskless Series X. It didn't seem to have any hardware improvements beyond improved Wi-Fi. Whether that's this or whether it's something else, we'll see. And a Xbox Series X,
maybe more storage,
Pro, whatever. Yeah, it could even be like here's a 2 terabyte Series X. That's
look.
totally
I'm not
possible.
buying another Xbox unless it's
a
full. Unless it's like an actual new generation where I'm not going to be able to, like, I'm not updating that. I will be buying a new PlayStation if a Pro comes out. I won't be buying an Xbox Pro. I wouldn't buy both Pros, but I will buy a PlayStation because, again, I've said it before, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year. I'm going to want to play that on the Pro because it's going to run better because we saw what that game looked like and it looked insane. And Rockstar is very good at getting the most out of a system, but usually that means that performance takes a major fucking hit. So I'm going to want to play that on the PS5 Pro for sure. So hopefully we'll see.
And then the last bit of news out of that was basically that we are going to get a showcase in June.
Great.
That was it. That was everything everyone got
Fake
up
E3.
in arms about. Fake E3 comes back, strikes again. So so that is the whole kit and caboodle with the Xbox update. I think that's everything in the news.
All right. Well, we should reiterate that we are doing our next challenge, which is for our head-to-head challenge, and it is the hop
jump rope.
Hop jump rope in Super
or hot rope jump.
Yeah,
in Super Mario Superstar. Mario Party Superstars. Fuck
Mario
me.
Party Superstars.
Or you could try it on Mario Party 2, but I don't know if Mario Party 2 has endless.
No. Mario Party
option.
Superstars. You can take a clip or take a screenshot of your best score, put it on endless. I did look up. I told the boys I looked up to see, like, I wonder if there's a high score for this. Someone has broken it, like you can get the max score, which is 9,999 perfect jumps. It takes about 5 hours in one play without a mistake to pull that off. So I won't be doing that, but I will tell you.
Well, I was going to ask. I'm taking the temperature.
I'm doing.
Tom, have you done it yet?
No.
Okay. I see. Now you think you've done pretty well, Chris.
Yeah.
Now I think I've done pretty well so far. Now I don't know.
I'm going to ask a question. I want to take a temperature.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying I have, but has anyone broken triple digits?
No. I will tell you straight out, I have not broken triple digits.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you next week. So there you go. Go ahead, join us next week. We have our head-to-head challenge, and then we'll have another one after that. We are gonna also be playing Turnipboy for Game Pass for probably just the rest of this month. We'll just do one a month. We'll pick a game. I think it's better for us, unless it's something like Palworld that we never want to play again. That's about it, everybody. Check out the show notes. Check out some games. Check it out. Listen to the Nothing Podcast here on your favorite podcast platform, or wherever you can find your favorite podcasts. And say Unranked.
I should have smirked and been like, I don't know, maybe, when you asked if I broke triple digits.
Yeah, well, you could suck it instead.
Yeah.